touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of Getting Back to Me, both sides of the story with Marcy
Me?
and Scottie.
You?
Okay. This week, we're going to do something a little bit different because we promised to kind of come back to a subject that we abruptly left last time because somebody didn't want to go further.
Right.
Okay, cool. To refresh your memories, we talked about how I kept saying whenever times would get really tough when we were first trying to wrap our heads around this crazy journey that we're on, that that we use joy. I kept saying, isn't my coming out supposed to be joyful? And if it wasn't joyful, I didn't want to do it, or at least didn't want to handle it the way we were handling it. And Marcy said that was something that I said, but that she didn't necessarily subscribe to. And she's writing about the process of what she had to go through herself to deal with it. So that's what we're going to talk about, right?
Yes.
So take it away.
Okay, well, there's sort of two parts to that, the joy part and the process part.
Okay.
So it just took me a little bit by surprise because from my perspective, at first, early on, I actually felt more like the rug was being pulled out from under me. So to hear somebody say this should be joyful didn't exactly somehow land very joyfully. It's a beautiful thought and plan, but that's what I meant by process. It took me a long time to be able to even think of seeing any joy in it. The only just slight aside to that is if it was joyful for you and it was also something I knew was important to you and also survival in life for you. So I did want to support you in finding that joy.
Yes, yeah. And I think one of the things, and maybe this is what you were touching on a little bit, is that people always ask Mars, how did you do it? How did you do this? How'd you do this?
You did that.
I did this.
I just came along.
And you make it sound like one day Marcy woke up and went, "You're right. Okay, that's done." And it's not like that at all, right?
Well, and when I just said came along, one of my secrets was actually a phrase that Scottie has used a lot in tribute to her dad. But it's a really powerful way to look at life. And it also really is kind of a symbolic support to the teachings we like to follow and trust in our life anyway. But I just like this imagery, which is you can go strapped across the saddle or sitting up in it, but you're going riding, Jesse James. So, other people might say go with the flow, right? Don't fight it, don't fight the river. But all of those things are just meant to say life will deal you certain cards. And it's really how you deal with your hand, not the hand you got dealt, that ultimately I think matters in the long run. So thanks to Jesse James, I just kept looking at how am I regarding this? How am I responding to this? How am I feeling about this?
But it's a thing that you do every day. That's the thing I think I want people to know about what Mars has done is that, you accused me, rightly so, of constantly moving the finish line.
Are they?
Look, I think if I just grow my hair long and wear earrings and able to be a little bit more feminine around just the two of us, then I'll be okay.
yeah, so I made you earrings.
That's right. So
And then,
yeah, and then I moved the bar a little bit more for Santa Claus, a little bit more for Santa Claus. So sorry, Cheech and Chong. We're not supposed to quote Cheech and Chong.
no, I'll tell you that story some other time.
But it was an ongoing process for me of also taking a look at what is. How much am I willing to continue to keep myself in the dungeon, and thank you, allowing me to come out into the sunlight and to blossom. And so it's a process of unfolding for me. It's also a process of you constantly taking and readjusting and constantly weighing it against how you're going to go riding on the horse. I want people to know that that's what Marcy has done. She did not start as what we would call an ally
No.
in the LGBT sense of the word.
In fact, I think I've already told the Oprah story, right?
Yes, you have.
Okay, so I couldn't have been further from even imagining.
Well, and I will say that I thought that the way to, as I say in the book, the way that I was going to earn my womanhood this next lifetime was to be the best boy I could be this lifetime. And so that was by being a white knight and a knight in shining armor and a king to you. And so sure, I could see that that's what.
Yeah, we just didn't know you had makeup on under the helmet.
Didn't know I wrote side saddle. Okay, so that's that question.
I still have images that are tough for me because I just
That's
want
true. Okay.
I'm still getting used to certain things.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So, you struck on something important, and that is that I succumbed often to the feeling of wanting to blame you and not wanting to trust you because the bar kept moving. It's like, okay, if I only have this, and then if I only have this. But also when I compassionately realized that you were not sure, that you really were thinking, okay, I could do this. This would make me happy. And then you discovered it wasn't making you happy. That you were actually in process yourself and moving the bar for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a question of how far will I be actually able to go? How true to myself will I be capable of being? I think that trans people are the ones whose life and karma is to actively and in a very overt way answer that question that everybody has to ask themselves. How far are they going to go to achieve their potential in life? Our potential has some obvious things that it has to jump through, but that's not what this is all about. I am an intelligent 54-year-old woman, and I want to have all that means, which is the maturity and the wisdom and the
intuition.
Intuition, and those things as a woman. And the rest of the outer sides of this is just window dressing for what's really going on inside. But I couldn't do it without you.
Well, thank you. Well, and in a way, I couldn't do it without you either. I mean, not only you as a partner and a mate and all the things that you've been and done for me, but here's the other thing. Once I said to myself, look, this wasn't done to you. You have your own karma. So it's not like, why did this happen to me? Why did I end up in this situation or this relationship? You can't ask those questions because it's not like it was your path and I somehow got dragged under the train or something. I have my own karma. I'm here for a reason. And we have a life. So, and Lord knows, I've walked away from situations before thinking, oh, I can change things. If I have another relationship, it will be better. Or if I have another this job or whatever, it would be better. And the weird thing is that wherever you go, there you are, you know, that saying. So I kept discovering that some of the same situations were happening for me, whether it was a new relationship or a new job. It's like, what is the one common denominator in this? Oh, wait, it's me. So it was kind of like the Jesse James thing again. It's okay, obviously this is your karma. If you try to get out of it, some other life lesson is going to come along to teach you these things. So how about you just stay and figure it out, make it work, make it right, make it joyful. Right?
Right.
What? Are you there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Sometimes we just get some nice ones.
Oh, see, I mean, you know, how many people have their mates say beautiful things like that to them? I would wish it for everyone who's in a relationship. Shape up, girl. Let's go.
Okay. Well, but you did touch on something, and that's something that makes it kind of difficult, and that's that sometimes people, the person that you're coming out to, makes it about them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh my God, you're doing this to me. You know, what does this mean to me? It's, you know, it means you get to call me she instead of he. You know, it's not a
It's just an S. What the heck?
Right? But it's a very important yes. And that can, what that does is that here's what is the kind of the subtle fear. Once you get past the initial, oh my God, you know, I don't know how to talk to you anymore kind of thing. Once you go figure out that that's what's true, there's a wire that connects hearts. And, you know, I recognize that I've jiggled that wire with a lot of the people that we love.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm hoping, but I didn't mean to jiggle it, but I also want to make sure it was tight on my end, and I'm afraid sometimes that people are just not going to tighten it. They'll accept me, and I get all kinds of great support, and oh my God, you go girl, I can't believe how courageous you are, blah blah blah. But we don't talk anymore. You know, a lot of people fall away, and that's.
They always liked me better anyway.
Well, I'm just hanging on your coattails anyways. It was getting scraps at the table.
No.
But that is a sad thing.
Yeah.
And I think everybody who that's the risk of coming out, is that when you come out, people go, okay. It's not that they're going to go, oh my God, get out of my life.
Well,
it's going to be subtle, and they're just not going to tell you anymore or share your heart.
Maybe even bigger risk, if I can put this right, is how long do we have patience for allowing people to understand? Maybe we did touch on this a little bit before, but it is an interesting prospect because it's kind of like, well, in the LGBT community, there are people who are L or G or B or T or even, you know, a combination. These are facts. They're facts. Just like water is wet, and the Earth is a planet, unless somebody decides to do the same thing to the Earth that they did to Pluto. But, you know, so there are some. So it's a fact, and I'm impressed by your patience and willingness to educate people. And I know it's important, and we do. And there's a lot of educating that has to be done. But it is interesting to me that people think they get to choose about it, about how they regard it. It's
sure.
like it's like trying to set gays straight,
right,
and fill in the blank. It's like
Yeah, you're right. Most of the conversation is framed in the idea that it's a negation, or it's, you can get on board with being straight and what we call heteronormal, or not, or you can live over there. You can live outside of the protections of the Constitution. You can live outside of the boundary of the human family. It's a choice that way. And you're right. I don't understand how people have that audacity to think that they could feel that way about another person. And there's a lot of people saying, don't tell me how to feel. It's like, I can't tell you how to feel. I can tell you that you need to be a human being and you need to be loving. It is against the law to be a hateful person. All of our laws prevent that.
Even the spiritual laws a lot of people go by. I heard a great line just today, which was, look, if you want to go to the land of normal, nobody else is going to be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, normally what we do is we read a chapter from the book. But
you said normally. How could you?
Ouch. Well, normal within the context of this little frame.
Okay. Just clarifying.
Just saying. But I think we kind of finished up what we needed to do from last week. We also got a little bit of mail from last week because I've been asking for it, and we'll answer that next week too.
Okay.
Thank you, Sco. As I promised, we'll answer it next time. But
you're amazing.
We've got some answers. So, should we say goodbye?
Okay, and just remind people to please check the website because we do have lots of exciting things there and upcoming events and stuff we either want you to participate on.
It's getting crazy.
It's getting great. So just please stay in touch, and we love it when you pay it forward or share it forward when you have information about what's happening. Yeah.
Mark your calendars, May 7th, for those of you in the Los Angeles area. We're going to be doing the staged reading of screenplay based on my book that Valerie Woods and I wrote together, called The Other Woman, starring Samantha and Michael.
Yeah, but not us.
No, it's just not us. It's about us.
Based on us, but don't worry. You'll have actors.
Real actors.
Talented
people.
Actors.
Yes.
So.
The casting was amazing, and
we ended up crying in the casting session. So that should be a pretty.
It's going to be exciting. It's really exciting. I was so flustered. I dropped my iPhone in the toilet. That's how flustered I was. Okay,
but so it was revived.
Yes.
Just so you know. Okay. So
the toilet was revived. Bye.